Hello, you sexy biscuits, and welcome back into Kingdom Come Deliverance. So this morning, something pretty interesting happened. I woke up to a DM by Mark, who sent me a link to a new board game that had literally just been announced. Yes, there is a Kingdom Come Deliverance board game in development. Recently, Warhorse Studios has kind of been trying to market some different products. We've got the absolutely incredible Farkle set coming very, very soon. And also, you can't forget the infamous soap.
Kingdom Come Deliverance soap bar, which should give you the real medieval smell. In that case, I must say, medieval smells actually pretty well. And we are coming up with crazy stuff like that all the time.
Yep, that one happened. That was amazing. But there is a little bit more to this, in my opinion. And we're going to delve into why this could be a hint at a future game. So stick with me as we look at this board game as it is. So currently on GameFound you can find this. This is a Kickstarter style website for board games. And this is being created by Boardcubator. They worked on a board game and card series called Space Race, which I've heard of before. But it's safe to say that this company is quite small. They only started in the last 5 or so years. But these are the people behind the new Kingdom Come Deliverance board game. So I wanted to read the description of what we're getting here, and then we can get a little bit of context for my further thoughts about what this may actually mean. Kingdom Come Deliverance, the board game. The lands of Bohemia are torn apart by the conflict between Crusades and the Hussites, and the common folk are caught in the middle. An epic narrative board game for 1 to 4 players set in the same universe as the highly acclaimed video game. Experience a rich narrative, fully cooperative gameplay, and living app-driven world right on your table. I love the idea of having an app that has extra stuff in it, and that could be kind of interesting to see what they do with it. But there's a couple of things that stuck out to me, and that is the fact that this is called Kingdom Come Deliverance, the board game. Now you may be thinking, well, what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is, this game is set during the Hussite Wars. Yeah, this game is set in 1421, as opposed to 1403, which is when Kingdom Come Deliverance is based. A lot of people have been asking since day one if we, in a sequel, could possibly see the Hussite Wars. The Hussite Wars went from 1419 all the way to 1434, and took place in Bohemia. I'm gonna say it now. I think that this may be a hint at a future game. And I only say that because I find this awfully weird. Calling this Kingdom Come Deliverance the board game doesn't make any sense. We know at this point that Kingdom Come Deliverance, the Deliverance part, is only a subtitle, and that relates to the 1403 story with Henry. I have always believed that Kingdom Come Deliverance will be 3 separate games. You'll have Kingdom Come Deliverance, you'll have Kingdom Come Retribution, or Give Me Back My Bloody Sword, you bastard, something like that, and the third game is going to be the big finale, and I was assuming that in this game you'd be going to places like Prague, and maybe it would take place in the Hussite Wars. That would make sense. This would be around the point where Henry would be in his 50s, you know, he's going to be a lot older, and he may actually enter the war, and I think that would be the great finale for Kingdom Come Deliverance, to have these epic battles that we saw in the original footage for Kingdom Come Deliverance all the way back in 2013 and 2014. The fact that this has made the point of putting 1421 right in our faces, but not mentioning that anywhere. It doesn't say this game is set in 1421. No, the only hint of this is in the logo, which if you look at quickly, and I did, this shows 1403. That's what my brain immediately thought, because that's what we've always seen. No, this says 1421. This takes place 17 to 18 years after the events of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I really do believe that the next game will be a sequel. It will be a straight up sequel. We will be heading to Trotsky with Hans Capon. I really do believe that. But something struck me a little bit interesting here, and that is the fact that even Warhorse wanted me to look at this. Elwin, over on Twitter, who is actually a game designer at Warhorse Studios, and I would try and pronounce your real name, but I'll probably get it wrong and I'll be laughed at. They reached out publicly on Twitter and said, hey, where's Detective Roxy? The fact that people from Warhorse Studios want me to look at this is a little bit odd. I want to make it very clear, with any other merchandise that they have been selling, like the Farquhar set or the soap, I was never told beforehand. I was never asked to be like, hey, could you look at this in a video? No, I have never been asked to look at the stuff they're selling on the fan site. I haven't had that happen. And I want to make that very clear. Anything that I've ever shown off on the channel, like the art book that I got sent and the jigsaw puzzle, they sent me without me even knowing. It was a surprise when those got delivered at my house. Thank you, Warhorse. I love you. This is a little bit interesting, but there is an upcoming event in October called Spiel Messe, which is a board game conference. Now, I've probably pronounced that original name wrong, so whoopsie daisy. But this is a world famous board game conference, and I think we should be keeping an eye on that. And that is happening from the 14th to the 17th of October, and that's all we really have to go on. There is more to this, I think, than meets the eye. This isn't just a board game. I'm wondering if this may be a tie-in to something that's happening within the game universe when they're going to finally announce whatever the sequel is. Could I be wrong? Of course. I've been wrong before, but I like to bring these to your attention because I think it's interesting. I love looking at stuff like this, and I really enjoy talking about one of my favorite games ever. So, my main question to you is, what did you take from this? What do you think this could be? Do you think this is just a board game, which I will be looking at when it is released in 2022 or whenever it's released? I will be taking a look at it. Why have they announced it this early is another thing. Seeing as it's only going to start getting kickstarted, I know that's not actually the official term, but when it starts getting funded in 2022, why have they announced it so early? There are more questions than answers here. What is 1421 and why is that so important? Anyway, I'm going to leave you on that cliffhanger because I don't know. Maybe you have some ideas. I love each and every single one of you. Thank you to the people that told me about this on Twitter. I've kind of set off a little storm on Twitter because I just posted the 1421 little snippet of that picture. So now people are going slightly mad. Sorry, but there's more to this than meets the eye. I love each and every single one of you, but until next time, that's me. Out. Bye, guys.